abolish nuclear weapons. I've been an anti-nuclear activist for just 15 years, and in that time I've learned that when it comes to the nuclear industry, things can go wrong, and when they do go wrong, they go horribly, awfully wrong for a long time, with a massive and unending clean-up bill and devastating intergenerational human impacts. Here in Australia, we have unremediated uranium mines that are still leaching radioactive elements into the ground. We have land that is still contaminated with plutonium from the British nuclear bomb tests. And we have rural communities that are split in half time and time again when the federal government tries to impose a nuclear waste dump on unwilling people. And they're trying to do that right now at Kembla in South Australia. Many of you will know Jabiluka. Put your hand up if you've heard that word. Maybe you've been involved. That's wonderful. This was a big campaign led by Mirarr traditional owners to stop. Oh, a bit closer. That's it, there you go. To stop a uranium mine. Can you hear me? Yeah. All right. So the Jabiluka campaign stopped a uranium mine in the middle of Kakadu National Park in the Northern Territory. And the senior woman that led that campaign, Yvonne Margarola, she said something about the nuclear industry that I've never forgotten, and that was, the promises never last, but the problems always do. And now the federal government is telling us, not asking us, but telling us that they want to spend the billions of dollars that we desperately need for many other things on a bunch of extraordinarily complex and clunky submarines fueled with highly enriched weapons-grade uranium. And they want to park them in a military base here in Port Kembla. This is an important place, and it is not a war base. And this is also so much bigger than Port Kembla. Only 6 nations have nuclear-powered submarines, and all of them are nuclear-armed states. We should not be copying them. There is a taboo against sharing the technology and the material with more countries because we're all supposed to be working to get rid of it. And Australia now wants to break that taboo and import tons of this deadly material to travel the oceans out of safeguards. This will trash the Non-Proliferation Treaty and pave the way for more countries to follow suit, as some are already saying that they will. This will make Wollongong a high priority target for conventional and nuclear attack. And this will fast track the highway to war. This plan is substandard, it's suboptimal, and it will make us submissive. Excuse the pun. So let us here today in Port Kembla join together with communities all up and down the East Coast to refuse a nuclear base and the whole nuclear submarine project. Yeah. And I'm so happy to see people here from Newcastle and Canberra and all over. So, I'll move on to nuclear weapons. Now, the government has said that this is not about nuclear weapons. Good. But what if the next government is interested in nuclear weapons? And what if the US or the UK ask Australia to host or carry their nuclear weapons, or to support with their nuclear war plans? Australia needs to draw a line in the sand, and we need to draw it now. And the single best way to do that on nuclear weapons is to sign and ratify the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons. Most of our neighbours in the Asia Pacific have done this, and they're calling on Australia to join them. Almost 80% of the public supports this and wants to join the ban. Labor has committed in policy since 2018 that they will do it. 3/4 of the Federal Labor Caucus are supportive, including the Prime Minister. It's time to do it now. Sign the ban. And here in the Illawarra, in this beautiful place on Dharawal country between the escarpment and the sea, we need to say something and we need to work to make it true. And what we're going to say is the submarine base will never be built. And we're going to say it 10 times. The first 3 times a whisper, and then the next 3 times we'll just say it like we're talking. and then the next 3 times we'll shout it, and then the last time, I really want to hear you roar. Are we going to do this?
Yes!
Okay, starting now with a whisper. The submarine base will never be built. 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 The submarine base